And so now we actually have the guys over in our mask detection area here. And so we can see them there. And now what's cool about this is actually not running on the cloud. This is running on the edge. And how we manage that here is, let me open the core. We can actually see this application that was built was actually built in Creator Studio, which again, we'll show you in a second. And it's actually deployed on the edge. So this part of the application is not running in the cloud. It's actually running on a little piece of hardware over there, but that is directly connected into the cloud where we're actually running this app. So you can see here we have these different stations, and this is actually tracking. See, all of these boards, you can build all of this in Creator Studio, and we'll get to that in a second. And so now we'll take a look and see how do we actually build one of these applications. So the dashboard you saw here in that mask dashboard, we'll actually edit that. So we can open a sandbox. And so there's a couple of ways you can actually build applications in Aitheon. There's a graphical low-code way, such as this one here, where you can actually build this from an entire kind of node structure. You can even write internally in here, different code and whatnot. And then you can run the coded version. So we support Python, C++, JavaScript. I think that's it right now, yeah? Yeah. And we're constantly adding new languages depending on the requirements of the actual, the customers and whatnot. So there's no, you can typically, if you have a pre-existing application, you can actually deploy it onto the cluster with what you have and tie it into this, so.
Add any elements and deploy the releases.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to show them the version?
Yeah. So we have built-in version control that using almost all features that GitHub has, and can use any structure in code that we can have the pull requests, releases. You can see it there. So it's sustainable in a fixed way.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we can actually internally inside of Creator Studio, we can directly deploy these different applications to our edge devices or to the cloud. So from the developer's perspective, they don't have to do anything special to manage that. They're focused on developing their applications, and they can use the core for the architecture, how everything interconnects, and then directly in, yeah, they'll show the list. Yeah, so you can see directly in this side panel here, we have these devices, and you can actually look at them. So if you remember, we were in Tyson Foods, Madison Northeast, and we were on the chicken floor, and you remember these stations. These stations actually all have controllers inside of them, and if you see this little play button here, it says run on device, and so you can directly just click that button and it will run it on the device. And so there's no like SSH or like trying to, you know, create deployment tools or, you know, device management or any of these things. It's directly built in. So when you add, let me go to Smart Infrastructure here.
Actually, it's have the device manager.
Yeah, it's built in.
But it's built in, and you can add devices very smoothly. You just need the serial number, and you can add it to the station, and you'll.
Yeah, exactly.
Deploy the applications and the edge.
Yeah. And so you see here, if we look here, we have these different controllers here. If we go over here, we have those same things, and you can see it's an AOS device and it's a controller, and we can even look inside these, and you can see your list of applications or whatnot running on these. You know, so that is kind of the high level of how all of this works. And then if you want to actually do a quick release of this, you can just use quick release, and it will actually release this entire application. It will go into your system graph in here and rev up that version, the modification you just made after it's committed, build it, redeploy it. And so you're able to rapidly evolve your entire organization almost on the fly.